Now I know what you're saying. Man, that guy makes a lot of French cleat kind of tool holders. Yes, I do. This one is another tool holder. This one is for my orbital sanders. They're both 6-inch. As per usual, 1/2-inch plywood construction, 2x8 on the bottom. This one looks treated. I don't know why. It's probably what I had. It's got the cleat on the back, as per usual also, and it holds these guys nice. I like to put them in here at an angle so that I can grab them real easy. I don't get them muck around a lot because I use these guys every day again. So another very useful, very simple project that anyone can do if you do a French cleat. And let's get into the CAD and then get into making them. Hey, if you find yourself enjoying this kind of content and want to see more, why don't you mash down on that subscribe button? That helps us immeasurably. And then maybe punch the like button and give us a thumbs up and maybe comment and stuff. That helps us bring you more content like this. So please do that, it helps a lot. And now, due in part to the overly litigious society in which we reside, listen to my robot.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
Here we are in front of the computer. We have the CAD up. In my case, it is VCarve. And this is the file as you would receive it from us. Since we're making this out of 1/2-inch plywood for the most part, and I'll go in and explain the bottom here in a second, but let's just check the material setup first, like we always do. Okay, we're going to change this to 1/2-inch plywood. All right, there we go. And here's the file. Here's what it looks like. Okay, so you'll notice that in my sample, this was a piece of dimensional lumber. In other words, 1.5 inches thick. This particular one is what? Let's check the size. 7.5, so it's 8. It's a 2x8, this particular one, that's 17 3/4 inches long. That's what that is in my sample. You can certainly make it out of 1/2-inch plywood. That's not a problem because the way I designed this, these guys are end caps, right? They don't sit here, right, where they sit on top of this piece. They get put on the side. So if these guys are thicker or thinner, maybe you're making it out of 3/4 inch plywood, it doesn't matter. They all still get cut to the same size, okay? So I tried to do that as a design principle, all right? Also, the reason I use a piece of dimensional lumber here is because it gives something, that piece of dimensional lumber is going to sit right down here, right? The reason I use dimensional lumber is because it gives some meat for you to screw or pin nail or glue or whatever in here. If that's only a 1/2 inch, right, there's not a lot to screw into, and you can separate laminations, you can do all sorts of stuff, you can miss with your pin nail, or you can do whatever. It's absolutely fine if you make it with 1/2 inch. I just happen to have some scrap dimensional lumber laying around, and I personally like it better. The other thing to note is that this right down here is 1.5 inches, right, because that piece of dimensional lumber will sit right in here. If you wanted to use a 1/2 inch, right, it would end up right about here, and you'd have this thing, wouldn't meet up with the edge. That's fine. There's absolutely no problem with that. Okay. However, just if you're anal or particular like me, and you want that to go right to the edge of your piece of plywood down here, be it 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, whatever, I'll just show you how to change that real quick, and I'm just going to use 1/2 inch. Okay, so we know that from here to here is 1.5 inches because that's what dimensional lumber is, and this comes right to the corner there. So if we take 1 inch off of this, what's left is a 1/2 inch, right? Okay, makes sense. So let's see the nodes. So I just highlight it, and then in my software I hit N, and that's the nodes, right? So that's what that looks like. And if I take off 1 inch, what's left is a 1/2 inch. What's nice about VCarve here is when I move it, it'll tell me how far I'm moving it. If you look there, it's saying this is how much you move it. So I want to move that about an inch, right? Let's see if I can get it. No, that's too much. There we go. Well, I moved it. It's 9 thousandths. Too much, I moved it. You'll never notice that, and that's probably, and it's a little bit bigger than the tolerance of the machine, but it's right on. But now if you look at it, right, it redid this angle for you. Okay, you didn't have to do anything, you just moved it. All right, so if you're using 1/2 inch, you can do that if you wish. I'm just going to hit Control Z right now, which is basically undo. Okay, and it moves it back up. All right, so if you'd like to do that, you can certainly do it. I personally prefer using dimensional lumber. It's cheap. I normally got it lying around, and it gives you a nice, solid a piece to screw into or glue or whatever. All right, so with that said, let's get moving here. All right, so this is how easy it is. Highlight everything, cut it as a profile. Doing, there you go. I should also note that you can rearrange these pieces however you want, whatever fits the plywood that you have or the stock that you have. Maybe you got a long skinny piece and you want to put these on the end. You can do that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're batching these out, okay, and you want to nest them such that they fit in a large piece of plywood, and you're going to do 4 at a time. Move them around, that's fine. Okay, so let's get into the actual toolpath here. We want to go on the outside because we want these to be 2 size, okay. I'm not going to put any tabs in here, depending on your situation. Again, especially if you're batching them, maybe you want to put little small tabs in there somewhere. I am going to put little ramps in here, though. I like to do that just because it's easy on my bit. It doesn't plunge down and then take off at full speed. That puts a lot of stress on a bit. I like to give it a little ramp. And we are going to call these outer profiles with an S. Not prefiles. How about if I spell that right? Profiles. Okay. Calculate. That's it. It cuts them all out. Okay. I'll reset the preview and just show you what the parts look like. That's what all the parts look like. Okay. And they're 1/2 inch thick. Nothing to it. Okay. Couple of other things. Between you and I, most people are probably only going to want to make one of these at a time, and unless you're learning about your machine or the speeds and feeds of the bits you want to use on whatever type of material or plywood you're using, you'll probably just want to cut these out by hand on a table saw or something. All right, so you can do that quite easily. Just highlight whatever piece you want here. We're going to just find out what the dimension is, and we're going to go over here to the set selected object size. We're not actually going to set the size, but it'll show you what size it is currently. Okay, and this one's 18.75 by 13. So you go to your table saw and you cut out a piece of plywood that's 18 3/4 by 13, and then you got this piece. Okay, you can do the same thing on these other ones. Okay, whatever size you want. These are a little tricky because it's going to give you, this is 7.5 and this is 13. So you'll have to do a little bit of hand work here. You know that's 1.5 inches and that's probably 1 inch up there to get that angle. But it'll be 10 seconds worth of work. Okay, so I imagine that most people would cut these by hand, and you can use this over here to set the dimension size right here to get the actual dimensions of these parts without having to print out a PDF and use them as templates or anything. So that's how I imagine most people will do them. But knock yourself out. Do whatever you think is best. All right, so that's these pieces. Let's head out to the workshop and just cut them out. Okay, 1/2 inch plywood. Looks good. I'm just going to start it. It'll grind it out. Looks like 2 minutes, 18 seconds. And then we'll kind of deburr it, sand it a little bit, and put it together. All right, so this one's just one that I'm going to do. Here's the cleat that I'm showing you. It's got that 45 on the end, as you can see there. and it's cut, you know, to the proper length. But I got to show you the proper length of this thing that it's cut to. Okay, so when I put these together, I put that on the back, and you know, I cut it to length. But the length I cut it is actually an inch longer than the back. So you can see I got a 1/2 inch hanging out on either side here, and that gives me a nice corner that I can screw it to. It makes it very strong, in addition to the bottom being construction lumber. See, you can see here, see how that goes together there? It just gives me another point that I can sink a screw or a brad or glue or whatever. Not like this. I don't design them like this. I design them like this. So I have this whole area here that I can screw or glue. And then I have both up here at the top. So it makes for a very strong connection on all of my French cleats, and all it costs me is an inch of that of the French cleat that I bought.
Okay guys, we've reached the point in the video where I give you the free coupon code. If I've done my job correctly, it should be appearing right about here. What you do is you go to the link in the description. That'll take you to the file page on the website, and it will try to charge you for those files. What you do is when you check out, you put in that coupon code, and it will give those files to you for free. They're both in SVG and PDF versions. All I ask in return is that you mash down on the subscribe button, maybe hit the like button, share it with your friends, that kind of stuff. That's it. It's free to do that. What a deal. All right, now back to the video. All right, dual orbital sander holder in the back. Turned out good. I like it. A lot of things I'd change on this one though. I would make this thing maybe twice as big. I would have this a little deeper here that goes out this way, and I'd have it wider, and I'd have maybe some shelves underneath or something for all of the various grits discs, you know, the sanding pads that I use on here. I'd want to put that stuff all in one space. You know, I go dig around for that stuff on a regular basis when I switch them out and stuff, and I would like them all with the sander. So this one I'll probably do another video on when I make the great big one. I think I keep them together, you know, to put two of them in the same holder, so I'm not making two holders with only one, because they basically serve the same purpose and stuff. But this one I would change quite a bit. Hopefully you can join me for that one. I have no idea when I'm going to make it, but when I do, if you had hit the bell thingy, it'll tell you. If you've liked or subscribed or maybe shared it with your friends, that would kind of help us out too, and that would help you so you know when we put it up there. But good project, I like it, but I need to go to Rev 2 on these, I think. So thanks again for joining us, and let's move on to the next one.